Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Payoff Pitch presented by Fantasy Phenom. This is going to be a fire-cracking show.
Flames.
Pop, pop, pop. How you doing, buddy?
What's up, man? Welcome to the new look. Looks good in here, man.
Yes, sir.
Always upgrading here at the Phenom when we have time. That's the goal is obviously winning money every day, but we always have a little bit of time here and there to build towards upgrades. And so I know if you've been rocking with us from the beginning, you probably don't even recognize the Phenom anymore. Slowly but surely, man, moving our way up in the world. So hope you guys enjoy. Just getting started.
Yes, sir. As you guys know, Mike is the graphical design artist here, and makes it look all nice and pretty. Unfortunately, he can't make me look nice and pretty, but that's the one downside to the show.
There's no live photoshopping. I did look into it, but sorry, nothing we can do as of right now, Kyle. We don't really have that kind of budget.
Oh man, dude, it was so today it was frustrating. So the early was fantastic. Destroyed the early. We talked about Jeff Suter. Is that his name? No, it's not his name. God damn it, what's his name? Suter.
Shooter McGavin?
No, on the Brewers. The dude that balled out.
Was it? I think it's Brent.
Brent Suter. That's who it is. Brent Suter. I was all over him in the River Chat this morning. Last night I was talking about play Matz and Strasburg, which actually would have been great, but Suter blew away 30 DraftKings points for his price. Fantastic. I paired him with Strasburg, had a 5-deep Brewers stack, and then played Michael Taylor, Anthony Rendon, and Ryan Zimmerman. Of course, Michael Taylor, kind of the lone creator of the offense today for either team that was in DFS-wise, because Curtis Granderson came off the bench at a home run, and and then someone else, Ryan Rayburn, drove in the game-winning run. So Michael Taylor was the only DFS player that did anything, and so I cashed very, very nicely. Unfortunately, I gave it all back during the main.
Milwaukee put up 8 runs. Pena had himself a nice game.
Yep.
He went, I think, 3 for 4 today. Drove in 3 runs. But yeah, that early slate is always tough, or 2-game slate, especially on DraftKings, is always tough. You always have to wonder: do you want to stack your pitchers, or do you want to try and play somebody you don't really know anything about? Which is Brent Suter today, and sure enough, went out and did his thing. Cespedes looks like he came up limp in that final play, so we'll see what happens there.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, he's got like 4 bum legs at this point. I think Shaw left the game, got hit in the hand. X-rays were negative from what I've read, so we'll see what happens there as far as injuries going into tomorrow. Interesting early slate, but 8-game main, ready to do some recap?
Yeah, dude. So ace of the night or day, Carlos Rodon, man. So how we're breaking this down is kind of points per, or the value essentially of the guy. So how many points they put up relative to their price. And Carlos Rodon balled out today. Him and Aaron Nola were 2 of my 3 top guys. Unfortunately, Luis Castillo was that other third guy, however you want to say it. Didn't quite work out with him. But Rodon.
It was looking promising though for a little while though.
Yeah, dude, he still got strikeouts. He just gave up too many runs.
Yeah, they got to him the third time to the order. So you see there the multiplier there. That's kind of how we're going to rank the pitchers. This is main slate only, and going forward, we're going to try and do this. Rank the pitchers on the main slate 1 through 5. Now, Rodon, he wasn't the highest scoring pitcher, but he was the best bang for your buck on both sites. So he made our ace of the day, 7 1/3, 10 Ks in Oakland. So great second start for for this guy. And I guarantee we're not going to see him at 6,500 on DraftKings next time out.
Bro, I was all over it, man. Yeah. I loved him today. And then paired him with Aaron Nola. Got all the bats I wanted to, but they didn't go off. Aaron Nola gave himself a nice outing, 32.75 DraftKings, 55 FanDuel. Ian Kennedy, second best value, 27.4 DraftKings, 48 FanDuel. Andrew Moore, who we talked about last night, 17 DraftKings points, 31 FanDuel. Not a bad showing for his price. And then Tanaka, your boy, man, Tanaka, 30.15 DraftKings and 52 FanDuel.
He looked good, man. He looked good today. So I think they gave him a little longer leash today, being that the All-Star game is around the All-Star break next week. Yep. Kennedy, I did not expect. I stacked against Kennedy. I think a lot of people did. Nola, obviously, top scoring pitcher on both sites. I think that was no surprise. I think a lot of people were kind of on him. So he went out and did what people thought. I think better than what people thought. You know, he went 8 innings, I think. 8 innings, struck out. Let's see. Good amount. So
I feel it.
I think he struck out 8, to be honest. Yeah, he struck out 8. Went 7 innings, struck out 8.
And then for batters, King of the Diamond, Max Kepler was that guy today. 40.7 FanDuel points, 31 DraftKings points, followed by Raimel Tapia, who Mike mentioned in the lock show today. Good looking out there. My boy Luke Voigt was that value play on St. Louis today. 27 DraftKings, 38 FanDuel. The value play of the day, hands down for his price. Tommy Pham coming up with 24 DraftKings points and 34.4 FanDuel. And finally, Joe Mauer, 23 DraftKings points and 31.4 FanDuel points.
Yeah, Pham did it without a home run. Obviously, it was part of that 13-run St. Louis game today. I think they were the stack to have. Them and Minnesota seemed like the two best stacks today. Obviously, you see Kepler and Mauer there. I think, what's his name? I can't think of his name. But there was somebody else that was that part of that 3-man. Oh, yeah, Sano.
Oh, there you go.
That was the guy. But yeah, Raimel Tapia, he's going to stay in this lineup if he continues to hit this way. He's been really hot. But yeah, Voigt was definitely that value play of the day. Part of that, you know, him and Pham were definitely part of that Cardinals stack.
Yes, sir, man. Cardinals and Twins.
Molina.
Those are the two stacks to have.
Yeah, Molina was a top 10 player today. I think. Who else? Jed Jorko, we talked about him. Yep. He was another. He almost had 20 DraftKings points today.
That Cardinals stack, man.
Yep, that was it. The Cardinals and the Twins were the two stacks to have.
All right, so we have the first game of the day in Washington. Great win by Washington today. Keeping my bets money rolling in, courtesy of my Mets friend. But they're playing at 8 o'clock Best Coast time tomorrow. Thank you that it's not on the slate. That would not be fun. But yeah, man.
This game's not on any slate?
No, it's not on any draft. It's not on DraftKings at all. It is on FanDuel's all-day slate. That's it. There's no DraftKings slate that this is on, to my knowledge. But just to touch on it real quick, Seth Lugo, Joe Ross. Joe Ross has been pitching well as of late. We know he gets run support. I mean, quite honestly, I don't play. If you're playing the all-day slate on FanDuel, this isn't the game I touch. So that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I didn't even know this game existed. So hopefully it's a good game to watch. I don't really know what to say.
Yeah. All right, into the main slate. Toronto and New York.
Main slate starts at 1. So I know you guys probably aren't used to it. Tuesday, the main slate will start at 1 o'clock. 9 games make up this 4th of July afternoon slate.
Yes, sir. We have Jay Happ and CC Sabathia, 2 left-handed veterans on the hill. Both, well, Happ's been playing well as of late. CC was playing really well before he got injured. Hopefully he hasn't packed on his weight again, and he remains form. But Toronto...
Yeah, they took their time with CC.
Bro,
he didn't really have to do anything. rehab starts.
Cannot hit lefties on the road. They cannot hit lefties on the road. It's worth looking at. It really is. At least power. They don't have power on the road versus lefties. I don't know if I play CC tomorrow, but I sure as hell am not stacking against him with Toronto. And then what are we doing with J Hat, man? Do you stack Yankees tomorrow? They're definitely better versus righties than lefties.
So when I see two veteran lefties pitching in Yankee Stadium, it makes me kind of look away from the bats. Hap hasn't really fared well against lefties this year, so maybe some of the lefty bats are still in play up on the Yankees side. But from CC Sabathia perspective, I think I don't see that they really need to get length out of him, or that they really want to. They got length out of Tanaka today. He pitched 7 innings. They did pitch Betances and Chapman, who did get a lot of work on the road. So, but I really don't think they need to, especially with the All-Star game next weekend. I think that they'll be okay with 5 or 6 solid innings out of Sabathia, keep his pitch count down, and just hand it over to the bullpen that's been rocky, to say the least. So, as of late, but yeah, I think nothing's really screaming out at me like I'm all in stacking either side here. But I don't want to play lefties against Sabathia, and
well, there's no lefties on Toronto to play, so you're good there.
True.
I'm not stacking either side here. There's plenty of other on a 9-game slate. There's other games. I guess Judge remains a one-off versus lefties. He's the one guy that hits lefties well. If you want to take a chance on Chris Carter, be my guest. Other than that, I'm not stacking Yankees, and I'm not stacking Toronto.
Yeah, I think Didi's always in play. He's playing well as of late.
Yeah,
against a lefty.
San Fran and Detroit, tale of two stories here. Giants have been hot.
Truth.
But no thanks tomorrow. I kind of like Michael Fulmer, even though he's not been as good at home. The Giants are not a scary offense. Still, they are last in the NL West, which is one of the worst divisions in the league. So there's nothing scary about this team. Don't try and jump on this, and I caution with a winning streak title. But and then on the flip, man, attack Matt Cain. He's not been good at all this year. His away numbers are starting to regress to where he should be, which is not a good pitcher. So attack Matt Cain. He's not good. He's not striking anybody out. Detroit, much, much better at home. I think they're going to light Cain up tomorrow.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, for what it's worth, he hasn't given up a lot of fly balls or really hard contact. He kind of gets hit to death. Like he's got a super high whip, and he allows people to get on base. Like he's one of those guys that pitches around people, puts them on base. He doesn't really give up a scary amount of fly balls and hard contact. Fair amount of home runs, but
gets hit.
Yeah, he does, and so I think definitely a spot to attack tomorrow. I like the usual suspects here. Kinsler's been getting hotter and hotter. Same with Cabrera. Both their prices continue to rise. I think kind of opposite story for Upton.
I like Upton tomorrow. I think 3,900 is cheap for him, and JD's only 42.
Yeah. No, I do like that price. I think both those guys are definitely worthy of going after Cain's very slow fastball. He's a finesse pitcher, so he's not going after guys in a sense. But now Fulmer against San Francisco, I mean, he's pitching probably his best ball of late. He just came off a start against Kansas City where he went 8 2/3. He only allowed one base runner through 8 innings, and then they got to him in the 9th. They ended up taking him out. The pitch for him is his changeup. He's got like a career batting average against of like 170 and a swinging strike rate of over 20 on that changeup. So if I'm looking at Fulmer, he's fastball, changeup, does mix in a slider. So
yeah, but the problem with Cain
I think Belt is the only guy I'm worried about.
The problem with Cain is you need a fastball to have a changeup, and he doesn't have that. So
yeah, but I like Fulmer tomorrow.
Looking at LA, Minnesota. I mean, I thought it was going to be a nice pitcher's duel today, and sure enough, nope. So I'm going to say tomorrow is the pitching duel with two pitchers that aren't great. J.C. Ramirez can go out and have a nice game. Kyle Gibson, not been as ass as of late, if you want to call it that. I still don't have faith in the Angels. So I'm sure as hell not pitching either guy, but I'm not stacking Angels tomorrow. You could stack Twins if you wanted to, but I think there's better stacks. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I could go right back to the Twins tomorrow. I think Ramirez is similar to Meyer, where he's a hard thrower. He will go after guys and walk some as well. And these guys can hit the ball. Like, these guys can hit fastballs. You know, we talk about what happened today. Kepler, and I imagine he'll be back in the lineup tomorrow. Sano. So I think you can go right back there. And I'd rather go Minnesota than the Angels, even though Gibson's been terrible. So
Facts. We have Jose Urena and Lance Lynn on the hill tomorrow. Lynn has not been great. Jose Urena has been good in his last couple starts, actually. Cardinals are arguably one of the hottest teams in baseball, and they just did that to today. Did they face a lefty today? Who did they play today?
Yes, they did. Jeff Locke.
That's right. And they perform worse versus lefties than righties. So now throw in the fact that they get a righty. Mets did okay versus Urena. I think the Cardinals are a better team. They're hotter. I have zero issue going back to the Cardinals tomorrow. I still don't think they get the ownership tomorrow. I really don't. I think there's other stacks that people are going to go to, but I can look at stacking against Urena. Not my favorite spot, but I think it'll be a low-owned one.
True. Yeah, I think I don't know who I'd rather stack, St. Louis or Minnesota. We just talked about. I think it's going to kind of come down to lineups and what I'm dig into as far as.
I'd rather stack St. Louis just for the
lineup
construction.
Yeah, definitely. I think they paid off well today. Then Lynn, you know, he's been pretty bad lately. He's been having an up and down season. Still with a batting average of 179 against righties. That's interesting to me. I think it makes definitely some cause for concern as far as a Miami stack. So not really all about pitching Lynn, but still, it's hard to stack when you see those numbers.
With you, man. Tampa at Chicago, we have Chris Archer, who's not been good of late, and John lacks potential.
John equals home run lackey.
I originally looked at this and I was like, I'm going to attack Archer because no one's going to. And then I was like, Mike was like, why wouldn't we attack Lackey? And I was like, good point. And then now I'm at GameStack. So Tampa Bay absolutely destroys righties on the road. It's their best split by far. They hold almost over a 20% home run per fly ball rate on the road versus righties. A 215 ISO, 343 WOBA. Lock and load him there against Lackey. And then I still think you can attack Chris Archer, man. Anthony Rizzo and Logan Morrison are the same price on DraftKings. A little more expensive on FanDuel, but I think if you're looking to game stack here, if you're making multiple lines, that's the perfect pivot. 1 and 2 right there off each other. It will not change your lineup at all. So I'm behind Happ, who's still too cheap at 3,800. Contreras 35. Okay, Addison Russell's been cold, but 3,100 is way too cheap for what he can do at a position that we like to punt.
Yeah, I think a lot of these Cubs bets are a little too cheap. So I agree with you. There's definitely some game stack here, depending on the lineup. Archer will get some respect, I think. So I don't think you'll see ownership's high there. But he's having a really up and down year. He could go out and strike out 10 any day for sure. Lackey has given up a home run in 9 straight starts. 5 of those have been multiple home runs. Tampa Bay, that's how they beat you, is by hitting home runs. So yeah, I don't really mind where you go there. I think you could definitely find multiple home runs in this lineup. So see what happens.
Also,
when these lineups come out.
Jeremy Ladd makes a good point that Chris Archer on the road, not a good thing, and he's not been good on the road at all, and the last couple starts reflect that. So Chicago and Oakland, White Sox in Oakland, I should say. James batting practice Shields will be on the mound, and Daniel Gossett will be on the mound for the Oakland Not Very Athletics.
Yeah.
But
Shields. What do we do with him, man?
you attack him.
Big time.
Oakland will not be high owned tomorrow. I guarantee that. Oh, I can't guarantee it, actually. I don't think they're high owned tomorrow, but I've been wrong before. Not very often, but I have been wrong before. I like Oakland tomorrow. I like attacking James Shields. I really do. He's back to the old James Shields, which is not a good one.
Yeah, at home versus Oakland not too long ago, probably 2 weeks ago. He went 3 innings, gave up 6 earned, 3 home runs. I'm going to see who hit those home runs real quick.
What are your thoughts on Daniel Gossett tomorrow?
I think he's a punt play.
Yeah, 23% strikeout rate at home this year. Only a 25% fly ball rate. We do know Chicago struggles a little bit versus right-handed pitching. I could see it for the punt play as well. If you need the price savings, I have zero issue going down to Gossett tomorrow. But again, I like attacking James Shields. The only issue I have is Oakland is a wee bit expensive. And I'd rather pay up to a spot like Tampa than play Oakland tomorrow.
I think you can make the case for both. I think they're probably similarly priced. We're looking at the bats you want to play.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're similar price, so I would rather play Tampa. Barreto at 4,200. This has got to be dynamic pricing, man. Barreto and Lowry have not been hot. It has to be strictly for the fact that they're playing James Shields, because they're still cheap on FanDuel, but the fact that they're over 4K on FanDuel or DraftKings, that's ridiculous. They've not been hot.
No, that is a bit ridiculous. I don't think I could see myself paying that much money for Barreto.
Or Lowry, 4,400? No way. So, I like them.
Well, he's always up there. I don't think that's much of a difference.
Really? I haven't seen.
Yeah, he's always been much higher. He's always been much higher priced on DraftKings than FanDuel for some reason.
Yeah. Okay.
In that game against Shields, the home runs were hit by Brugman, Barreto, and Olsen.
Yeah, that was Barreto's and Brugman's first career home run. No, Olsen's first career home run. No, so it was all 3 of their first career home runs.
I think maybe Olsen could be in play at that price. He's very cheap.
Yeah. We got Pittsburgh at Philly. Bro, I love me some Jameson Tyone tomorrow. Philly is not a high-powered offense. They do better at home, but they're much, much, much better versus lefties than they are righties. Jameson Tyone has been pitching well of late. He's got under 30% hard contact rate, under 25% fly balls. His strikeouts are right where his average is, 20%. He's not anything sexy. I don't think he goes out and scores the most points on the slate, but I think you know what you're getting. He's consistent, and I like him as a play, man. I love Tyone tomorrow. He's one of my top 3 pitchers on the slate.
Yeah, we always talk about ground ball pitchers with K upside. He has a 53% ground ball rate since returning from the DL, and Philadelphia in the last 2 weeks has the 3rd highest ground ball rate as a team. So they're kind of playing into that. Now, Tyone's outpitch is his curveball. He's got a 41% K rate on it. Philly does have some bats that hit the curveball well, looking at it. So maybe that's a cause for limiting the upside as far as strikeouts. And the only other thing I'd caution about Tyone is his length. He hasn't gone 7 innings since returning from the DL. But yeah, I like Tyone. He's obviously come back, shown that he's not putting people on base. He is limiting the hard contact, like you said. So it's hard to manufacture runs against him. And Philly struggles to do that at all, period. So yeah, I think he's definitely in play. I think he's definitely one of my top plays tomorrow.
And then I don't think I pitch Mark Leader Jr. tomorrow, but he's not a guy I necessarily want to stack against. I mean, if I really want a one-off, I go Kutch, but maybe Polanco's too expensive now. Yeah, Kutch would be the only guy. Maybe David Freese for 3,100 at third base, but I don't find myself stacking against Leader, but I don't find myself playing him either.
I think he's punt worthy. I think I'd rather punt Gossett though.
I agree with that.
So
I'm on Gossett over.
So that's kind of
over Leader as well.
I think that's where I'm at. I agree. I don't necessarily want to stack against him with Pittsburgh, who's been really cold.
And then my favorite pitcher on the slate, he'll be chalk tomorrow. I don't even care. I'll play him. Jim Boy Nelson. Lock and load
Jimbo.
against Brent Suter just went out and had a amazing first start. He couldn't have asked for a better opponent. Jimmy Nelson has been absolutely mowing down guys. He's going to shoot those Orioles out of the sky like they're clay pigeons and just mow them down, send them back to the dugout, shaking their head. 25% fly ball rate over his last couple starts, 25% hard contact, 35% strikeout rate, under 200 average against him. Give me some Jimmy Boy.
Yeah, he's been awesome this year. He really has. He's turned so many heads. He's got double-digit strikeouts multiple times this year. He's actually been a little bit better at home, but still, he's just been pitching really, really well. He's a sinker baller. They really didn't have much strikeout stuff. He kept the ball on the ground, and now he's mixed in. I don't know if he's got some movement on his four-seamer now, but it's carrying his 37% K rate with almost a 13% swinging strike rate. His curveball is even better, 44% K rate with a 14% swinging strike rate. So he's got some out pitches to match with that sinker baller that keeps the ball on the ground. The sinker carries a 68% ground ball rate with it. And he's even got a BABIP of 330 this year. So you're talking about a sinker baller that keeps the ball on the ground with a high BABIP. That shows that it's probably going to regress some.
Even more than that,
Yeah, so.
And then, all right.
He's got a fastball that tops out at 98. I mean, this guy's got strikeout stuff, and Baltimore is in a funk big time. And they got Ubaldo on the head.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. I love Milwaukee personally. Do you think the person that goes back and checks game logs is going to go back and see Ubaldo just had a great game and not stack Milwaukee? Do you think they garner less ownership tomorrow?
I really, really hope not. Like, people, like, Ubaldo Jimenez is going to have two games like he did last game, but
he's not good. He's not the pitcher we saw last game. Brewers are one of the hottest teams. I believe the three hottest teams in the league right now are Dodgers, Brewers, and Cardinals. I absolutely love Brewers tomorrow, man. I don't care if they're chalk. I'm going right back to them. This game, this Nelson-Brewers stack combo can be chalk, and that's fine. I'll differentiate somewhere else. But absolutely love Brewers bats tomorrow. No doubt about it.
The only guy I think, again, I'm going to be playing a lot of Nelson tomorrow. Let's just preface this by saying that. But I think if you were one that wanted to go against the ownership, I think I'll look at John Scope just for his numbers against the curveball.
That's fair.
But yeah, I like stacking. We'll see what happens with Shaw. They might give him the day off, being that it's a day game, but they played a day game yesterday, so we'll see what happens there. Could be a little bit of mix-up in the lineup, so
yeah, true.
I'll wait to give out individual plays, but I definitely want to stack Milwaukee.
Yeah, regardless of who they put in there, they're still stackable. All right, so that is the earlier main slate. I guess it's an early main. Haha.
Yeah. So nine games. Any other really slate
notes?
Talk? I mean, there really isn't much to pay for mid-range. Again, we talked about Fulmer, Nelson, Tyone. They are all 3 out of the 4 high-priced guys. The fourth guy being Chris Archer. We give a little bit of respect to CC, but his first game back, I don't know how much that's a GPP option. Gossett against the White Sox is intriguing. But yeah, so from a pricing perspective, maybe if people on DraftKings are going to play 2 of those top guys, we're going to have to find some value tomorrow.
Well, Gossett, that's my value pitcher. But I think it's weird how these 2 slates play out. You have almost no, and I preface this with a hashtag, or not a hashtag, quotes, ace on this main slate. And then you have all aces and all scrubs on the main or on the late slate. So the 2 slates are going to play completely different. I think people pay down somewhat to pitching tomorrow. I think Nelson will be chalk. That's no surprise. But the fact that he's chalk at 9,200, I think you'll see it a lot like Nola was today, where you're going to be able to get bats that you want tomorrow. And so I don't know. It's going to be tricky.
I don't know that you might. Again, I think you're going to have to find some value bets on DraftKings. I mean, myself, I kind of want to pair two of these guys that are 8-5 and above. So I think you're going to have to find a couple, maybe one, maybe two value bets when lineups come out tomorrow to see what happens. Because, yeah, that's how I feel. I mean, and then we'll talk about this late slate. It's rough, man. You got.
I'm sorry, dude.
Again, like you said,
KC Seattle is on the main slate for DraftKings. God, that sucks because that's a 2 hour.
It is.
That's 2.5 hours after the last game or the second to last game. But okay, so we gotta mention this for the late slate. Jake Junis and Felix Hernandez.
Game stack.
I like attacking Felix. I like attacking Felix more than I like attacking Junis, only because of how hot Kansas City is right now, personally. But I don't think I pick either of these two teams over over Milwaukee and Tampa Bay. However, I will preface by saying this: because this game is so late and we will not know lineups guaranteed by lock, you will get these bats at really, really low ownership tomorrow.
Interesting, yeah, because I think this is definitely a game stack potential. I mean, I kind of like attacking Junis a little bit more, but I'll ride with Kansas City, like you said. They're hot. They've been hitting homers. I'm with it. But I mean, he gave up 3 home runs last start at Detroit. He's given against the Angels. He gave up 5 earned with 2 homers. At San Diego, he gave up 3 home runs. You know, that's a home run problem, man.
Yeah. So with the team that's hitting hot too. So this could be an interesting play just from the standpoint of ownership. These bats are going to be because no one's going to know who's going to be in the lineup. I mean, Kansas City's both these teams are actually pretty typical in their lineups. They don't change day to day, but people will not take that risk, in my opinion, and you're going to get both these sides loaned. So that's your ownership perspective there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Valencia had a big game today. I think he was 4 for 4, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. Didn't have a home run, but still, he looked good. Gordon hit a home run today. Moose, I think, hit a home run today. So I think this definitely game stack potential, which, like you said, coming in late.
Yeah.
So we might be able to get the lineups. I mean, what is it, 3 hours after lock?
No way, 5 hours, dude. It's 3:40 Eastern time or 3:40 Pacific time. Game slate locks at 10 Pacific.
What time is that game?
6:40 Eastern.
Oh, definitely not then.
Yeah, you're not getting. So to recap, those 3 pitchers were on for the early are Jimmy Nelson, Jameson Taillon, and Daniel Gossett. Is that? Michael Fulmer too, but Daniel Gossett's that value play if you need that. 3 guys were attacking: Matt Cain, John Lackey, Ubaldo Jimenez, and Chris Archer is an interesting stack against as well with the Cubs.
Right, and that game stack we just talked about.
Yeah. So, all right, on to this late slate. We got 5 games with 3 aces on the hill. Trevor Cahill and Corey Kluber in Cleveland. I don't see how you don't play Corey Kluber tomorrow. I think he's a better play than Clayton Kershaw tomorrow as well.
It's pretty obvious. I mean, against San Diego, Kluber, since returning from the DL, has a 1.26 ERA with a 0.67 WHIP with 64 strikeouts in 43 innings, and has double-digit strikeouts in 5 out of those 6 starts. I don't know where he went. I don't know that he went to the DL. I think he might have went to like a factory or something, and like got programmed to become someone that we've never seen before. But yeah, against San Diego, there's no reason, in my opinion, to pay for Kershaw over him.
What are your thoughts on Trevor? Go ahead.
I was gonna say maybe you'd think Kershaw at low ownership, but I don't even see that on a 5-game slate. I don't know.
No, there's no reason for me to play Kershaw tomorrow. And what are your thoughts on Trevor Cahill making his return from the DL? I'd imagine probably doesn't get pushed too hard. Obviously, with All-Star break coming back, probably just want to get him in action before the break.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that I stack against him either. He was having a good year before that injury. In fact, a really good year.
He was. Yeah, I think he was. It's actually an interesting call. I think it's going to be a slate of interesting calls. There's definitely some game theory here. on this 5-game slate, being that there's a game with 2 high-powered offenses in Texas, and the same deal in Coors, and then you have Kershaw and Kluber over 12K. Mm-hmm. It's like, so how do you pay up for pitching, and then all the bats are also really highly priced? It's gonna be a tough go, and like you mentioned, like Cleveland may be a way to go, but then Cahill coming back, it's been looking good. I'm thinking that this, and then you have the game in Atlanta too. I mean, that's a hitter's ballpark, so yeah. It's going to be a very tough slate, tough lineup to build, I think, looking at this, especially on DraftKings. You need 2 pitchers.
Yep. We have Brad Peacock and Sean Newcomb. I like Sean Newcomb. I don't like him tomorrow. Astros don't strike out versus lefties very often as is, and then put them on the road where they're a far superior team versus lefties. ISO almost 40 points higher. Woba almost 40 points higher. Home run per fly ball over 2% higher. So I actually like some Astros tomorrow. George Springer, Carlos Correa. I can get behind. If Evan Gattis plays, I can get behind there. So I don't know that I full stack Houston, but there's no way I play Sean Newcomb. And then Brad Peacock's going to be a super GPP play for his K upside versus an Atlanta team that is struggling, but it is in this ballpark, and that is always a concern.
Man, the walks are such an issue for Peacock. The amount of plate appearances that end in a walk or a strikeout from Peacock is just outstanding. Like, this guy either walks them or he strikes them out. And the Astros are kind of cool with it because they have just an elite bullpen. I don't think the Astros have gotten 7 innings out of a starting pitcher in like 2 weeks. So it's like, yeah, Peacock's walking people, but he's not. Out, man. He's been shutting them down. So I don't know that I want to put Atlanta. And then you're thinking, oh, maybe he gets out of the game early, but they have a great bullpen. So I still don't want to really go Atlanta. No. I think Houston by default, even though I kind of respect what Sean Newcomb's been doing, becomes in play. I mean, we look at these team stacks, there's not really much. I really think on this 5-game slate, you're going to have to maybe pick and choose. I don't see anybody really going off, except for Colorado. Maybe this game in Coors is really the stack, man. So how are you going to fit this game in Coors with Kershaw or Kluber?
Yep. We got David Price, and Yu Darvish. Yu Darvish pitching well of late, gets a hot Boston team, and David Price not been pitching well of late. Gets a Texas team that, for what it's worth, does a little better at home versus lefties. At least they strike out a ton less. So, I don't know. I mean, I'd imagine Robinson Chirinos plays tomorrow. You have the righties, Gomez, Napoli, that hit him well. But other than that, I mean, Andrus, right? I kind of like that Andrus is priced down tomorrow. I can, honestly, Texas might be a sneaky stack tomorrow because they're priced down. Andrus dropped 700. Napoli's down to 34. Gomez 37. Chirinos, I don't know what his price is, but I imagine he's in the lineup. DeShields 34. I think you could stack Texas tomorrow against Price. I don't think Price is an elite pitcher right now.
Right, and we saw last time they faced a lefty a very different lineup than we've ever seen. I think that was the first time Odor's been out of the lineup. So maybe we see a big shakeup again versus Price, which will change things, in my opinion. Obviously, if there's no lefties in this lineup, Price gets a significant negative in this ballpark. And then Darvish, could be an interesting play tomorrow. I think no one's going to really look there at all.
No, I don't think anyone.
As far as where his price, I think both these pitchers are interesting plays that would allow you to maybe get cores and low ownership. So
yeah,
maybe if you're playing tournaments, it could be a way to go.
The more and more I look at Texas, the more I think I like them tomorrow. Especially at these prices, man. 35. They're pricing down Texas like David Price is an elite pitcher.
Well, so we saw it today, man. They were very low price. I don't really know why.
Yeah, I like Texas. I think that might be the stack tomorrow with these high-priced pitchers.
Maybe.
So, we have Colorado, Cincinnati. Homer Bailey, batting practice. Kyle Freeland pitches better at home, oddly enough, for what it's worth. Does a great job of keeping the ball on the ground.
Homer Bailey hasn't done anything.
No, not at all.
He's had 2 starts this season, and he has given up a total of 14 earned runs in 4 2/3, and that's in 2 starts. So he carries an ERA of 27 into this game in Coors. He shown no sign of playing well. I don't know. I feel like they kind of rushed him back for what he was, for what his contract is, and now he goes into Coors, and Colorado just hits well at home, man. Blackman, if you look at his home road splits, is kind of unreal.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
This dude doesn't...
Ian Desmond's not playing. That's going to be Raimel Tapia.
390 at home.
Yeah.
261 on the road for Blackman.
I can get behind... I love a Colorado stack tomorrow. The problem is getting there.
Exactly.
LeMahieu in play, Tapia in play. I think Tapia is probably chalk tomorrow for what he did today and the fact that he's sub 4K in Coors. Blackman, I think you got to look there just for his price if you want a piece of Coors. Maybe Carlos Gonzalez if you want to buy into that. I just don't know how you're going to get these high-priced guys without super punting with the pitchers tomorrow. Which is why I look at Texas.
Maybe you go Tapia Story as a 2-man.
Bro, I can't play Story right now. I cannot play, not for 4,300. He is way. He hasn't done shit all year.
He's been playing better as of late. I just think it could be a good 2-man for cheaper to get Coors exposure. Because I don't know. I just don't feel like you're going to be able to pay up. Like we said, it's going to be impossible to really pay up for Coors if you want to play Kluber and not... I mean, who are you going to pair Kluber with on DraftKings?
That's what I'm saying, man.
I got nothing, man. Maybe Kyle Freeland in this game?
I don't think I do that because I'm looking at some Cincy bets, man. I do like Suarez for 3,900.
I know.
That's a cheap piece. Jose Peraza, 3,300. You can go there. Devin Mesoraco probably plays tomorrow.
Maybe you go there.
Adam Duvall's actually priced down at 5,200 from where he was today at 57 for what that's worth. So
it's nuts.
I think this game goes off, and the hard part is picking pitchers or bats, man. I don't think tomorrow is going to be a stack day, really. I think you're going to have a couple 2-mans everywhere to try and get pieces.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I'm thinking too, unless some significant value opens up somewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking at right now. It's going to be a tough game tough slate to play. I think I'd rather keep my money and put it in the main.
Yeah, and then we got Arizona and Los Angeles, and on FanDuel, Arizona and San Diego were priced at 2017 and 1776, I'm sorry, for 4th of July, fitting that...
Are you serious?
I swear. So...
That's just dumb.
If you decide to attack on FanDuel, Kershaw or Kluber, it's very easy to do with a 4-man stack and get Coors in there with one of your ace pitchers, so you can get a Kluber and then attack Kershaw if you want to, and then get Coors action.
Well, there you go. I mean, FanDuel made it easy for you right there. Tony Kershaw's been elite. He's had a home run problem, so...
DraftKings is not as easy.
What happened to Goldschmidt? Is he
He's
from Canada or something?
I think he's too good for them to price down that far.
That's weird, man. That's really weird. That's aggravating. Why do they do that?
It's a FanDuel life, man. But on DraftKings, their price is normal. Normal-esque, I would say. I don't know that I can attack Kershaw, man. With who? Goldschmidt's 5,300. No way I do that. Lamb is still 44, and he sucks versus lefties. Chris Owings maybe at 4,200, but I'll tell you this: I'd rather play Owings than fucking Trevor Story.
Yeah, I would as well.
Brandon
Kershaw.
Kershaw.
I mean, for what it's worth, did pitch well against Arizona. It was early in April or mid-April or something, I believe. It's the only start he has against them. He went 8 innings in that game, so. But yeah, I think if you're playing on FanDuel, that's your value right there. I think you just kind of find a couple bats, 2 bats there, and you're good to go. You can play Coors and Kluber. Yeah. But yeah, I think the Dodgers could be an interesting way to go tomorrow. Off playing against Corbin. I mean, obviously he peeps the ball on the ground, and the Dodgers haven't been doing much lately. But the Dodgers are fairly priced, and could be a way to go.
I'm with you there. I like Turner if you can pay for him. Okay, so let me ask you this: if you somehow find a way to pay for Coors tomorrow, is it worth being contrarian to play Dodgers for similar prices? Or am I crazy?
Homer Bailey, man. I just really would like to attack him, man.
I think so too. I'm just they're similar prices. Dodgers been hot. I agree. I think I still attack Bailey, but I wouldn't hate the decision from an ownership standpoint to stack Dodgers because I don't think people do it when Coors is the same price.
All right, so I'm gonna do this on DraftKings right now. I'm gonna put Kluber and Peacock into a lineup, and it leaves me with $34.75 a player. And then I'm gonna put 2 hitters at just 3,000, right? We won't say super punt. We'll just say 3,000. That would leave me with $3,600 a player for 6 spots. So you're looking at, if you put one $5,000 player in, you're looking at having to punt 2 more positions. It's just,
yeah.
I don't know that it's possible, man. I really don't know that. Like, I think you're gonna have to pair. If you're playing Kluber, you're gonna have to pair him with somebody. It's like much cheaper.
You're gonna have to pair him with Newcomb, man. Honestly.
Yeah. Probably Newcomb.
For what it's worth, Mike's not saying play Peacock. He just was paying up for 2 pitchers to give you an example.
Exactly.
You might have to pitch Newcomb tomorrow, man. I would say he's the least of the guys to get blown up.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Corbin for the positive part, but Dodgers are so hot. I don't know, man. This slate's gonna be tough. So
it'll be a tough one. It might be fun though.
Yeah, it will be. So where we're at with the late, is Clayton Kershaw, Corey Kluber, and I don't know. I don't know that you go anywhere else. Sure. I guess your value. Okay, let me ask you. So we're gonna have to find value. Corbin or Newcomb?
I still say Newcomb.
I'm with you. I'm on Newcomb as well. So that would be the value play. And then the guys we're attacking, Homer Bailey, without a doubt, number 1 guy to attack. And then I would say David Price, really, man. I think Texas is going to be a cheap stack tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a cheap way to go, and I think a lot of people on DraftKings, at least, are going to have to go there. So you look at their pricing.
Mm-hmm. So,
although you have your boy Chirinos up finally. He's the 4th highest price catcher now.
Fuck, god damn it. I mean,
you talking about Mesoraco. Mesoraco is the 3rd highest price guy now.
They're paying Chirinos some respect finally, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
So,
it's gonna be a fun one. That 5-game slate is interesting.
Yeah.
Just to get a couple beers in you, and then start building lineups and see where it goes. Could be some fun.
So, this was a hit last time. Mount Rushmore of cereals. 4th of July.
Yes, and I'm pretty sure mine was definitely the best.
Okay, fair.
Even my alternate, man, of Raisin Bran, you can't.
People liked it. Nothing's more patriotic and baseball worthy than beer. So, what is your Mount Rushmore of beer? And don't give me Coors Light and Budweiser.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a craft beer fanatic. I'll give you. I definitely am someone that enjoys a delicious brew. I think my favorite beer of all time is the Stone Ruination IPA.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever had it before.
I have not.
But I think it's my favorite beer of all time. Also, if you've never been to the Stone Brewery in Escondido, it is absolutely beautiful. Definitely would recommend it.
Okay, what else you got?
Mount Rushmore. So that means I've narrowed down to 4, right?
Yep.
One of my go-tos is Dale's Pale Ale.
Okay, I've had that.
From my time down in North Carolina. They're brewed in Brevard. Trying to think. Another California beer, Ballast Point, the Sculpin. Have you had that?
Yep, I have.
That's definitely Mount Rushmore worthy. The 4th one's tough, man. I think I might just have to go with like good old Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. So another California beer. 3 California beers, man.
That's a goal of mine to visit Sierra Nevada Brewery. It's up in Chico, about an hour and a half north of me.
I've been there.
Have you?
Beautiful.
When the fuck did you come to California?
I came there in 2011.
Okay. All right, so my favorite beer of all time is Paulaner Hefeweizen. It's a German beer. Absolutely love that. Hefeweizen is my favorite type of beer. Hefeweizen, you would call it. White people say Hefeweizen. But Paulaner, number 1.
I'm going to write that down.
I'm a big fan of Sierra Nevada myself. I like their seasonal brews more so than their commercial ones.
Celebration, dude. That's one of my favorites.
Celebration's a good one. Have you had their winter one?
That is their winter one.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. What Celebration is.
What am I thinking of? I'm thinking of.
I don't know.
I'm thinking of something else. But okay, so I like their seasonal. Fuck, man. This is tough.
It is tough.
You know what? I love Dogfish Head. Have you ever had Dogfish Head?
Yeah, they're based out of Delaware.
Okay. I don't know. They're based out of Delaware. I love Dogfish Head.
60-minute IPA, definitely go to. They have some really unique beers.
I like the 90-minute a little more. I like stronger IPAs. And then, have you ever had Racer 5 IPA?
Yeah. That's also really good. Racer
5. So, if you guys can't tell, I'm an IPA Hefeweizen fan, so.
Dude, if you ever had those Stone Ruination, definitely go after it, man. It's my favorite beer, favorite IPA. Ballast Point, it's a close second. That's Sculpin IPA. So.
Cool. I will definitely look out for it. Another one.
Check it out.
Another one that is really, really, really hard to find is Pliny the Younger. I know Pliny the Elder. Pliny the Elder gets all of the attention, but I like Pliny the Younger actually a little more.
You can't get it's very rare to get that on the East Coast. Obviously, they're based out of San Francisco. Mm-hmm. I imagine you could probably get it a little bit easier there, but I have tasted it, man. I've been to some rare beer tastings.
I need to get out to some beer tastings some more. So.
It's a good time.
All right, guys. Well, let us know what you guys think of the new layout in the comments. Any feedback is welcome. Let us know what you think of the Ace of the Night and King of the Diamond. And, of course, if you guys have anybody that needs graphic design work, you guys have a business, you guys know people that have a business, need to re-up for their design, hit Mike up. He will gladly get you guys a quote. Very good pricing.
Get you hooked up, man.
Yeah, and so he'll give you guys a Phenom deal. Phenomenal deal.
Phenomenal deals. Yeah, no, definitely let us know. I think this is kind of like we didn't want to. It's kind of phasing this in, kind of just up the look a little bit. Give you guys a look into the Phenom, and and like I said off the top, we're always getting better. Our focus obviously is research and analyzing baseball or all sports and DFS and providing the best knowledge, but we got some spare time, I think, sometimes, and so we use it to improve. And I think if you guys have been with us for a little while, you've noticed all our improvements, and they will continue to come. If you want to jump on board now, obviously linked in the description. Check us out, 24/7 DFS chat room in all sports, whatever sport you like, and obviously the sheets that you've seen here.
Yep.
So give it a shot, give it a try. Smack dab in the middle here of baseball. So. Yes,
sir. So appreciate you guys as always tuning in. tomorrow we'll have an early lock show because the main is early, so we'll do the lock show about 8:15 Best Coast time, 11:15 for you guys on the East Coast, and get you guys set for the main. And then obviously no lock show for the late. I will be out at a barbecue. I am the person doing the barbecuing for a party tomorrow. So not only will I not be available, I probably will not be coherent. So not the
beers,
yeah,
hot dogs. I might rent a chainsaw tomorrow. Not sure yet.
God damn it, Mike.
Yeah, I called him up. I was like, hey, do you guys rent chainsaws on the 4th of July? And I think he probably thought I was crazy.
White people, man.
You never know. Jet skis. I don't know. I'm just going to channel my inner Kenny Powers. That's the goal tomorrow.
I feel it. So, all right, guys, we'll have a wonderful night. Make it a profitable main, and we'll be back here tomorrow morning and then tomorrow night breaking down what's tomorrow. So tomorrow's Tuesday, so Wednesday slate. So, by the way, I'm only wearing this Red Sox hat because Mike is wearing his Yankees jersey. So, I know there was questions about that. So, have a good one, guys.
Oh, man.